Chill, hold up. Let me adjust the microphone. Like, excuse me. Babe. Oh my God, I look so pretty. The hair is giving. The white, I didn't think the white was going to pop like this the way it's popping. You know, like, ooh. Oh my God. Natural queen. Oh my God. You know, I get it. I'm so pretty that at this point, I'm going to have to get a lot of marriage licenses because I already know. About 99.9% of y'all want to marry me. So I'm going to go to the courthouse tomorrow. Okay. Get y'all set up, you know, and you can just, you know, mail me the ring, whatever we got to do. But I spoke to the future president. She said that I could get married to multiple people at the same time. So it's okay, y'all. It's okay. There is room for everybody to get a taste of Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like... Okay, let me stop. All right, let's get into the video before I keep going, okay? Welcome to the Shakira Miriam Show. I'm your host, Shakira Miriam. And today, we are going to be talking about a video that one of my subscribers actually sent to me. Shout out to _A.S2002 on TikTok because, child, I was kind of like going through a little brain drought these days. I've been going out a lot, y'all. It's my birthday month. I'm a Libra. If you know anything about Libras, we celebrate our birthday the whole entire month. So I've been just, I've been going out so much that I haven't been tuned in to anything going on. So I was like, damn, I got to film a video, but I don't even know what to do. I don't know, So shout out to you for sending me that. But I do want to talk about it because there was a white man who got up on TikTok and he made a video and he was talking about how white men truly feel about black women. And honestly, I'm not going to spoil it. Let's just get into it and then we're going to talk about it, okay? But he said a mouthful. He definitely did. Okay, but let's get right into it.
So I'm just going to let this be known. I do not hate pink people. I just dislike shit that pink people do. Like that whole thing with, the pink dudes, telling me, oh yeah, I like, black women too. Whole time, a lot of them don't like black women. They might be sexually attracted to black women, but they don't like them. There's a difference, okay? Motherfucker, and that's what a fetish is right there. Like, for real, like, you are sexually attracted to a person, but you really ain't trying to have no relationship with them. You just want to try something. Or you want to rebel against your family because they dislike black people. So that kind of turns you on. It's like when somebody tells you no, and you like, oh, like, you want to do it. Like, motherfucker ain't going to tell me no. Like, I'm finna go do this. You feel me? So that's the type of shit that I dislike. And I'm not saying that I'm the only genuine pink dude out here that, appreciates black women. But I just feel like a lot of pink men do not really appreciate black women. And I'm not for that. I'm not feeling that. And I'm not finna get no motherfuckers no tips on how to motherfucking pull a black woman and motherfucking implement the black woman. Like, hell no. Sorry, that's what I mean. They ops, you feel me? Them real live ops, for real. Because I'm about uplifting black women. I'm about appreciating black women. I'm not just about trying to get in, black women pants and shit. That's just not me, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely, I ain't saying, like, again, I am sexually attracted to black women, but that's not my goal, for real. But yeah, I just thought I had to, elaborate on that, for real. I hope y'all enjoying y'all day already.
Well, he said a mouthful. Honestly, there's a lot to unpack here with what he said. The thing is, I just want to touch on his claim that a lot of white men don't actually like black women. They're just attracted to them. And a lot of the time it's a fetish. And I'm not going to lie. There is some truth to that, but I wouldn't say it's all white men. I do believe that there are white men out there who will fuck a black woman, but they won't marry her. They won't make her a girlfriend. They'll just use her as an experiment. It's somebody that they'll have sex with, but other than that, they're not going to take her serious. They're not going to even try to educate themselves about her struggle or about her experience as a black woman in this society. Like, that is definitely a real thing. There are definitely white men out here who do that. But there are also white men like himself who genuinely like black women and genuinely are attracted to them to the point where they'll treat a black woman like a queen. Okay? And I thought this was interesting to hear a white man even say this, because the thing is, now everybody's like, oh, you see, this is why black women shouldn't date out. This is why black women shouldn't date white men. Because look, you're just going to be a fetish. You're just going to be a fetish. And it's like, listen, there are some truths to what he said. And like I said, you know, that is definitely something that occurs with some white men. But I think it's interesting that white men are the only ones who are held accountable for having a fetish. Because I'm going to be real with y'all. What he's talking about, where he says there are white men out here who are attracted to black women, but they don't like black women. Coming from a dark-skinned girl who benefits from fetishism, I'm going to unpack it right now, child. That is very common in the black community as well. This is not an exclusive experience to just white men. Okay? So I thought it was interesting because, like I said, there are truths to what he said, but it's interesting that when we speak about fetishizing, we only talk about white men when black men also fetishize some black women as well. Okay? Like, for me, as a dark-skinned black woman who benefits from fetishism, do you know the amount of black men who have pursued me and tried to date me and have fucked me, okay? When in reality, I was never their type. I was just the attractive dark-skinned girl that they could experiment with so they can experience what Tupac was talking about when he said the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. It was something that they just wanted to try out. But in reality, they didn't even like dark-skinned women like that. And it was so evident in my relationships as well. Because I remember I accidentally dated a colorist. And I know what you're thinking. Girl, how did you accidentally date a colorist? It's actually a very common experience with a lot of dark-skinned women. Especially if you benefit from fetishism. Okay? And one thing I will say is when I dated this black man who was colorist. Okay? This man made it known that, you know what? I'll fuck you. And I'm attracted to you, whatever. But he made it very known that while he was attracted to me, he did not like me. He did not like me, and I was not his first choice. And every single day, he never failed to remind me that. Okay? That man was always cheating on me with his real type. Okay? That man was always putting me down, always telling me that I wasn't valuable. Always saying stuff like, oh, it's really hard for me to not cheat on you because every time I go outside, I see an attractive woman and it's really hard for me to keep my dick in my pants. Like, I'm telling you, this is word for word, bar for bar. He would say things like this to me. So he made it very known that he didn't really like me. And on top of it, even in the relationship, he would get so irritated of everything I did. I would cook for him, he got irritated. I would clean for him, he got irritated. I would help him with his business. He got irritated. Like anything I did, he would get irritated. And you know how it is when you're around somebody that you don't really like that. So everything they do just annoys you. Like they start breathing and you're like, oh my God, here we go. You know, like when you're around a guy that you're not really attracted to and everything they do just annoys you. Everything they do just makes you cringe. That's what I was to that man. So it's like he would fuck me. And at the time, he knew that I was an insecure dark-skinned girl who was very desperate for male validation, especially black male validation. And a lot of black men are aware that there are dark-skinned women who are really insecure to the point where you'll accept any kind of treatment just because you, as a dark-skinned girl, feel like you don't have that many options. And they will prey on that insecurity and use you so that they can dog you out and do whatever they want. And at the time when I was an insecure dark-skinned girl, that guy knew that, and he used that to his advantage all the time to just dog me out and treat me horribly. And at the time, I was just letting it slide because I thought, this is the best that I'm going to get. You know, a guy is actually dating me. This is the best that I'm going to get. But in reality, he didn't really like me at all. At all. Like, he would fuck me and he was sexually attracted to me. And I was a good experiment for him, but he did not like me. So I say this to say, I'm not going to take away anything that he said. Because like I've been saying in this whole entire video, before people try to take me out of context, like I've been saying, there are truths to what he's saying. What he's saying is most definitely facts. There are white men out here who genuinely do not like black women, but they're attracted to us. And you know, that's something that shouldn't be a surprise. But at the same time, it's like that shouldn't be something that scares black women into dating black men exclusively. Or that shouldn't be something that scares black women to the point where they're not dating outside of their race, especially dark-skinned women. Because something that I always tell y'all, there are good and bad people in every single race and skin tone. And y'all know me. Trust me. Even if you know me in real life, I date everybody. I don't care if you're white, black, purple, Asian. I have dated everything in the book on everything. Okay. I like all flavors. I don't care. Because the way I look at stuff, your attractiveness is not determined by your race or your skin tone. It's not. I've seen ugly people in every single race and skin tone. That's why I don't understand the preference conversation. Me personally, I can't relate. I've seen attractive Indian men before, literally. At least to me, they were attractive. I've seen attractive Asian men. I've seen attractive black men, but I've also seen some ugly ass black men. I've also seen some ugly ass Indian men. I've seen some ugly ass white men. Like, you know, I think there's pretty and ugly people in every single race and skin tone. And your ability to be a good partner, in my opinion, is not based on your race. It's really based on your emotional maturity as a man. So I give everybody a chance. If I find you attractive and your personality is mature enough and we click, I'm going to give you a chance. You feel me? And I say that to say that even though, yes, this white man is saying that, you know, there are a lot of white men who just see black women as a fetish, and that's very true. That shouldn't be something that scares you away from dating outside of your race as a black woman, because the same way you can go date a white man and he may see you as a fetish, you could be dating a black man who also just sees you as a fetish, especially if you're dark skinned. Okay? And my sisters just know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, you just have never experienced it before, but it's very real. Fetishes are not just exclusive to men outside of the black community. Black men also fetishize black women as well. Like, for example, I'm not even gonna lie, Offset is a perfect example of this. That man, even though he dogs Cardi out and he embarrasses her, at the end of the day, Cardi B has the ring. But he cheats on Cardi B with black women. And there are a lot of black men like that. They will wife the white girl. When they're at the top, you know how it is. When black men get rich and all that, they wife somebody outside of their race. It's always a white girl, Latina, whatever. And they'll wife the Latina or the white girl, but they'll cheat on them with black women because they're sexually attracted to black women and they'll fuck black women, but they don't see us worthy enough as wives. The Latinas and the white girls are worthy enough to have a ring from these black men. But the black women, we're just only good enough to fuck. It's not even just Offset. Like, no shade. Like, Safari married Erica Mena, but was cheating on her with black women. I mean, a lot of black men do that. They will wife up somebody outside of their race, but they'll still fuck black women on the side. And at the end of the day, it's like, yes, they are embarrassing that non-black woman or whatever, but at the same time, that non-black woman is the one with the ring. Meanwhile, the black women that he's fucking are literally side chicks to him. Like, they look at us like we're a fucking side of mashed potatoes, but we're not the main course meal. You know what I mean? So I wanted to touch on this because the thing is, like, he was very real in what he said, and I think is very true. But you know, it's not exclusive to white men. And I feel like every time this conversation comes up, you know, I always get crucified when I start bringing up the fact that black men also do the same thing to black women. And they try to like tell me like, oh, why are you involving black men in this conversation? It's because you don't want to hold white men accountable. It's like, no, like, I'm holding white men accountable. There are white men who do that. Okay. But there are also black men who do that too. And we don't talk about that enough. And even though it's common for some white men to fetishize black women, when black men fetishize black women, I'm not gonna lie, in my opinion, I think the treatment is worse. Because the thing it is, black men know that they can get away with treating black women like shit. They know it, okay? White people have to be a lot more cautious about how they treat black people, because the minute they do something weird or crazy, they're labeled a racist and their whole life is done. Their career is done. Reputation is done. You're done. You know what I mean? But a black person, especially a black man, they can get away with treating a black woman like shit in any setting. And nobody's really going to do anything or hold them accountable because nobody cares. Like, it's kind of like when you're working at a job and you see the difference in how your white boss treats you versus your black boss. Like, your white boss, at least in my experience, your white boss is going to be a lot more cautious about how they speak to you and how they treat you. Because they say one thing a little bit sideways and boom, you're going to HR and they're losing their job. Straight up. You feel me? But a black person, you can have a black boss who's treating you like absolute trash because they know they can get away with it, because nobody's going to scream racism because you both are black, and nobody cares enough about colorism or texturism or featureism. And the only people who really know about these issues are black people, unless a white person goes out of their way or somebody outside of the black community goes out of their way to educate themselves about it. So a lot of times a black person will get away with treating another black person like shit, and a white person wouldn't be able to get away with the same thing. And that's a very real conversation. Like, let's be fucking for real. Trust me. In my experience, my white bosses they've always been very like walking on eggshells because they didn't want to say the wrong thing. But my black bosses, I done heard everything in the book. I done heard I'm too dark. I done heard I look like mud. I done been screamed at and told I was worthless, like everything. And they got away with it because it was a black person versus a black person. Especially when it's a black man doing it to a black woman. Because as much as we don't want to admit it, when it comes to socioeconomic status, black women are below black men. We are. Okay? We face an intersectionality that black men don't face. Black men, I'm not taking away from your experience. Trust me, black men go through a lot. Okay? It's very hard being a black man in this society. However, black women, we're black and we're also women. So that's two forms of oppression that we face compared to black men who only face one form of oppression. Unless you're a black gay man, but that's actually another conversation. That's literally another conversation. And I will do an episode about that. But what I will say is, yeah, black women do have it harder. and we are below black men in terms of socioeconomic status. So a lot of people will not say anything when a black man is treating a black woman like shit, or when a black man is doing something horrible to a black woman. A lot of the time, people just let it slide. So when it comes to this conversation about fetishes and actually liking black women and valuing black women, I feel like white men get the heat for this conversation because they're a different race. But in reality, if you really look at it, yes, there are white men who are just stupid and only see black women as a fetish, but is actually way more common in the black community, and a lot of the times it's way worse. Okay, and these black men will treat a black woman way worse when they don't really like her compared to what a white man will do. Did my titty just pop out? Okay, it didn't. Well, y'all can't see anything, but I'm just saying, I had to put my hands up because I know y'all gonna get mad at me, but it's true, and we know it's true, and I know it's a truth that a lot of people don't want to unpack because a lot of people are in denial. And when it comes to black men, I love y'all, but y'all, when it comes to accountability, y'all hop right over that shit. Hop right over it, okay? This will be accountability. You won't just, I don't get it. You know, whatever. Okay. Sorry. But it's very true, you know? So, I wanted to touch on this because, you know, this fetish conversation is very interesting to me, especially because I have dated a white man before. And when I was dating this white man, everybody kept telling me like, yo, like, how are you dating a white guy? Like, he probably doesn't even like you. He probably just sees you as a fetish. Like, he probably just there for an experiment, all this stuff. And I kid you not, y'all, like, I would just look at them like, bro, you think I haven't experienced that with black men? Like, bro. And like, every time they say, like, I remember I went on a podcast, and one of the questions they asked me was, okay, so what if you go home with this white man and you find out that his family members are all racist? What are you gonna do? I'm like, do you know that I went home with black men who had colorist family members or xenophobic family members? I think that's the word, but like, basically a black American man that was a black American community that was very weird towards Africans, because I am Senegalese and Guinean. So I've experienced that in the black community as well. Like, so whether I date a white man or a black man, there's an equal chance of me experiencing some weird shit, is what I'm trying to say. There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to who you should date. You date a white man, yes, there's a chance that he's going to see you as a fetish. There's a chance that his family members are racist. Yes, that's possible. But if you date a black man, especially as a dark-skinned woman, there is a chance that he sees you as a fetish. There is a chance that he sees you as an experiment. And there is a chance that you're going to go home with him and find out that all his family members are colorists or texturists or featurists. Just saying. Trust me, I've dated black men where I came home with them, met his family, and I kid you not, his sisters would say stuff like, oh, you know, I don't, you're pretty, but you know, I wasn't expecting my son to be dating somebody so dark. Or like when I would go with him to like events, especially like he used to be in the church, I would go with him to like church events and stuff. His family members would literally say stuff like, oh, make sure you have your hair straight and don't be having like a nappy hair out or anything like that. That's texturous. I have 4C hair. So it's like equal, like you could still go through the same shit whether you date a white man or a black man. And for me, it hurts more from black men. For me, I feel a lot more pain when I come to a black man and I think I'm going to be safe because we're in the same community. And turns out I'm not. turns out it's like we're ops. That hurts more for me. I don't know about y'all. Because at least white people, I'm not expecting much. I'm really not expecting much. I mean, you fucking enslaved us for like 400 years. I'm really not expecting much, honestly. But my community, I'm expecting to feel safe around black men. I'm expecting to feel loved around black men. So it hurts more, for me at least, when I start dating a black man and I realize that I was just an experiment to him. Or I go home and I meet his family and I find out that all of them are colorists or texturists or featurists. That hurts more for me. So this whole conversation about, you know, like the fetishes and like really liking black women, it's not just a white man thing. It's true. He's right. Like, there are white men out there like that, but you can also go through that as a black woman dating a black man. And that's why I say to black women, especially dark-skinned black women, open your options and date everybody. Don't just date black men because you're scared of being somebody's fetish, because I promise you, you can go through the same thing with a black man, literally. And in my opinion, I feel like it'll hurt more because it's coming from your own men. So that's why it's like, there is no right or wrong answer in terms of what race you should be dating, or there is no black and white answer to what you're going to experience when you date a specific race. You could date a white man and get so much love from him and his family, and he actually understands your experience and he genuinely likes black women. And you could be dating a black man who's the total opposite, you know, and vice versa. Okay? So, you know, I like that he unpacked this, you know, definitely spoke on it. I just don't like when we have surface level conversations and we don't open up the floor to really getting down to the issue. Because the thing is, if we're going to talk about fetishes, we need to talk about it across all boards. If we're going to talk about valuing black women, we need to talk about it across all boards. We're not going to point the finger and play the race card where we only attack the white people and blame white people for everything. The black community is notorious for that. We love blaming white people for everything, instead of just looking in the damn mirror. Because half the time, not even half the time, don't even get me started, a lot of our issues are really just us perpetuating it. Literally. A lot of our issues are, we didn't create it, but we keep it going. I'm going to say that. We definitely keep it going. And doing what I do, I've been speaking on issues in the black community for a pretty long time now, I would say. I don't know. I think I started TikTok like 3 years ago. I've been speaking on it for a while. And one thing I've noticed, a lot of people do not want to improve the issues in the black community. A lot of people are comfortable with these issues. And that's why these issues are still prominent today, the same way it was prominent in the 90s. Not much has changed. Because there's comfortability in the fact that our community is so destructive, so self-destructive, you know? So I don't want black women to feel scared to date outside of your race, especially if you're dark skinned. Please don't. That's a whole nother conversation. Y'all could go through my page if you want to like really get into it, but dark-skinned women, you should not be dating black men exclusively. I'm sorry, you shouldn't. You are not the preference to these black men at all. Okay? You are literally the last choice. If not, you're not even on the list sometimes. Okay? So, you dating black men exclusively, I'm not saying just fuck black men, because there are black men that love dark-skinned women. They're out there, and being with a black man as a black woman, I mean, obviously, you know, if that person is not colorist or texturist or featurist, it's actually a very beautiful experience. I'm just like, black love is a very beautiful experience when it's done right, and it's really black love. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying fuck black men, but as a dark-skinned girl, you shouldn't just be only dating black men. Because they're going to most of them are picking the light skin and the white girl over you. And especially if you have standards and you're like me, where you want a man who can match your energy financially, and you have a degree and you have a foundation for yourself, baby, you're going to be looking for love for a long time if you dating black men exclusively. Okay. And that's just statistically proven. Literally. Statistically proven. Statistically proven. Yep. You could pause to read. You could. But black men, they make dark-skinned women baby moms at a higher rate compared to light-skinned women, and they marry light-skinned women a lot more. I'm just saying. And child, it's a whole thing. Well, I'll do a video one day. But point is, I'm glad that I saw this video so I could actually share my perspective about it, because like I said, I just wanted to expand the conversation. I'm not taking away from his point or saying that he's wrong, because like I said, there is truth to what he's saying. He's most definitely right, but there's more to this conversation. And I think we got to start having these conversations. We got to stop pointing the finger all the time at white people this, white people that, white people that. We got to like really start talking about our community and what we do. Like a lot of people come for me and tell me like, oh, you're always attacking black men. I'm sorry. I'm not attacking you. You're my community. You're what, like, I'm not about to sit up here and start teaching white people how to treat me. I'm sorry. I'm not about to sit up here and start policing white people on how to act and all. Like, that's not my community. I don't like black men. You are my community. So I'm addressing my community. That's what I care about. I care about the black community and the black community only. I swear to God. So like, that is the people that I'm going to address. And I'm going to talk about all the issues that we have. I'm not saying that black men are horrible people, because you're not at all. I date black men. Literally. There's not like, but we have flaws, and we have to address those flaws if we're going to grow as a community and become better. And I'm not saying black women are perfect either. We have flaws as well. And y'all know, if you know me, I be talking about it all the time. Okay. But it comes a time where I feel like there honestly, I really feel like there's two types of black people in this world. There's black people who just like really hate white people, and they point the finger at white people all the time and just really like don't fuck with white people. And then there's the black people who understand that it's actually our community that is the worst towards each other more than any other community. And there are white people out there who sometimes will be better friends to you or treat you better than other black people, just because our community, we have a lot of healing to do. A lot of healing. Like, we don't like to see each other win. We gatekeep a lot. Okay. In terms of us actually valuing the black family and keeping the black family whole. And yes, it's also, a government issue with welfare and all that stuff. And that's a whole nother video for another day. But, we do have a lot of flaws, and we need to address those flaws if we're going to grow as a community. And that's all I want. That's all I want. I want to see the black community flourish. And the only way to do that is addressing the bad issues. If you go to a therapist, are you going to tell her about all the good experiences you had in life, or you're going to tell her about your trauma? What are you paying your therapist for? So, baby, I'm not about to sit up here and just, we gonna get real. One thing about the Shakira Miriam show, we get real. We get real and we talk about it. Okay. So I'm happy that I got this video so we could talk about it. But that's it for today. I love you guys so much. I will definitely be making a video like very soon. Damn. I will definitely be making a video on Baddies Caribbean very soon, but I definitely wanted to make this for y'all as well. But, other than that, I do love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon. And to all my beautiful black people, you are loved. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. You are loved. I love you. But I'll see you guys very soon, and I love you guys so much. Besos.